everybody, it's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be discussing some of the news stories, or at least one in particular news story that did occur while I was away. Unfortunately, I did fall ill. I was very sick for the last couple of days. Thankfully, it was not COVID, similar to what it was prior, so I'm able to come back now into this room and discuss some of these news videos and discuss my opinion on some of these situations. And today we're going to be talking about Nikola Vucevic and the potential of him re-signing with the Chicago Bulls team, as it's been made very clear by reports that the Chicago Bulls are looking to extend Nikola Vucevic. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about whether or not you would re-sign Nikola Vucevic if you were the Chicago Bulls. Because I think there's no question that the Bulls are looking to obviously extend this player, and I think it's no secret that Vucevic wants to stay with the Chicago Bulls as well. Both have been reported over the past couple of months, and recently it has been reported that the Bulls want to extend Nikola Vucevic and that talks will continue, or talks will begin during training camp. So a lot of good work there, a lot of good stuff there to decipher, and we're going to get straight to it, ladies and gentlemen. So the first thing we need to discuss with Nikola Vucevic is his production. So when it comes to Nikola Vucevic, I've always said he was one of the more durable players on this team. And if you don't know his stats already, I'm pretty sure I've said his stats numerous times, but he averaged 17.6 points per game, 11 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, shooting 47.3% from the field, 31.4% from the three-point line. As I've said countless times already, a little bit of a down year in terms of production compared to previous seasons, and he does, in my opinion, need to have a better season next year for the Bulls to really get back into the grand scheme of things, really to get to the top of where we want to go. Vucevic is going to have to play a big part of that, in my opinion, and we're hoping that he'll be able to do that. The big thing about Vucevic is he's on an expiring deal, and with an expiring deal comes a lot of pressure with Nikola Vucevic. So I think the Bulls are trying to open discussions to see if they could get a deal over the line, maybe a friendly deal, a team-friendly deal at least, for Nikola Vucevic over the course of multiple years, rather than Vucevic entering his, I guess, last contract season, outperforms what many people expect. Then all of a sudden we might have to pay him a little bit more. It's a very interesting concept, and I guess it all comes down to what Vucevic really wants to do, because in my opinion, the Bulls will offer him a team-friendly deal, but does Vucevic really want a team-friendly deal? I believe this upcoming season is going to make around $22 million. Does he want more than that? Does he want less than that? And that's really what it's all about, in my opinion. That's really what we're going to have to discuss. If he gets a team-friendly deal, I think that would help the Chicago Bulls maybe add a little bit more bench players in the future. But all in all, I'm not sure if it means too much, but it's a very interesting thing here, because Vucevic, we're hoping, will have a good year. Vucevic, we're hoping, will really shine next year compared to what he did last year. But even at the stats that Nikola Vucevic actually had last year for the Chicago Bulls, the 17.6 and 11 rebounds per game and stuff like that, all of that being said, I still think that's worth keeping Nikola Vucevic on this team. Now, it all comes down to being team-friendly. I'd really like to see Vucevic take on a team-friendly deal. We've seen him do it already with the Orlando Magic. He didn't take a max contract with the Orlando Magic. He took a team-friendly deal so they can go and acquire other talent. And although that didn't necessarily work out for the Orlando Magic, they're ending up in a rebuilding process like they are now, I guess you could say that Vucevic has done the team thing before. The real question is, will he do the team thing again? And it's very interesting that he said that he wants to stay here as well. That's obviously going to be a big part of this negotiation plan, because I don't think the Bulls would be starting negotiations this early if Vucevic didn't come out and say, I'd want to stay with the Bulls for his future. And he has come out and said that over the past couple of months. So very, very interesting thing here. So what I would do personally if I was the Chicago Bulls, obviously starting negotiations at training camp is fine, but unless it really, really helps the Chicago Bulls, I personally wouldn't sign him on straight away. At the end of the day, if he's going to be asking for more money than what he's already on, or if he's going to be asking for the same amount of money, then I think we've got the time and position in our hands to really wait and see what he can produce next season. Because if he's out here producing similar numbers next year, we might be able to get a little bit lower out of Nikola Vucevic. But it's also that risk factor where if he has a strong season next year, he plays his absolute mind out. He plays on fire. He just goes all out, and he's having an incredible year. Whether it's by luck, whether it's by the will to get higher money, whatever it is, it really depends on what drives these players. and Nikola Vucevic has a great season next year, we're going to have to pay him probably more to keep him. And I'm sure either way, the Bulls will probably try to do that. If he has an incredible season last year, the Bulls would want to keep him for multiple years after that. But if he doesn't have a great season and the Bulls to get him on a team-friendly deal while we could try to focus on other players in the future, the Bulls would want to do that as well. I have a strong feeling Nikola Vucevic will be a Chicago Bull beyond this year. I think, obviously, in terms of maybe trading for a center, it's still a possibility. I know many people throughout the season will be calling for Vucevic to get traded if he has 1 or 2 bad games. It's just how people are. But I also really understand the fact that I guess it really just depends on the financial gain that will happen with this team or with Nikola Vucevic. What really comes down to is how many years and how much money he wants, because he is up there in age as well. I don't think we should be extending him on a 5-year deal or anything like that, like we did with Zach LaVine. I'm not sure if that is the real long-term goal there as well. All in all, let me know in the comments below what you think about Nikola Vucevic. I think the Bulls have, I guess, in my opinion, the advantage in this situation just because Nikola Vucevic wants to stay here as well. So it probably could be an easy mutual agreement at training camp. Look, Nikola Vucevic, we want you to stay here. We don't have, I guess, as much money as you'd probably want or would like. Would you take a team-friendly deal? Vucevic takes a team-friendly deal. Then we move on from there. We bring him on. We forget about free agency with Nikola Vucevic and we go with what we have. Or if he doesn't actually perform well and we decide to take that risk, maybe we can move on from him as well. So all in all, a very interesting time to be Nikola Vucevic at the moment. We'll wait and see if he actually gets that free agency experience or he decides, I want to commit to this team early. I want to show my commitment to this team. I believe this team can go somewhere and I want to stay here to find out. I like Nikola Vucevic, and I think he can show a lot better than what he did last year. So that's what I'm hoping on. And I know there were some down periods. I know even towards the end of the playoffs, I said we should be trading core pieces. And I'm pretty sure my intention there was trading Nikola Vucevic for another center. And I would still be open to doing that. But considering the fact that Rudy Gobert has been traded and the amount that he got traded for, I don't think the Bulls should have went anywhere near it. Aidan signed the max contract. It looks like he's staying with Phoenix. I'm not sure if Miles Turner is actually going to stay with the Pacers or not. But many people would argue if Miles Turner is better than Vucevic or not. I'll leave that up to your interpretation. There are probably a bunch of centers out there that you might consider trading Vucevic for. But we also got to remember that Vucevic is still one of the top offensive centers in the NBA. Is still one of the highest IQ centers in the NBA, and he's known to be a team player as well. Very good attributes to have on this Chicago Bulls team, where other guys might not have those same attributes, even though they might be better in some aspects. Vucevic does have a lot of good things about him as well that I like. So I'll leave that to your interpretation and all of that. But I'm excited to see what the outcome will be with Nikola Vucevic, because I've always said, in terms of signing someone as well, there's always a chance that if we sign someone on for a long term, we have the power to trade him in the future as well. It's not just a financial gain of we're going to keep Vucevic here for another 3 years. It's also we have another 3 years to trade Vucevic if there's a good offer available. It puts us in position as well. Two sides of the coin there. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. As I said in the comments, or as I said now, let me know in the comments below your thoughts about whether or not you would want to keep Nikola Vucevic or not. A lot of people hate on Nikola Vucevic. I can understand it to an extent. I think some people are taking this way out of proportion in many ways and saying he's a lot worse than what he actually is and what he's actually proven to be. But there's no doubt he's had a down year. And all we really want is to see a better year from Nikola Vucevic, because we see a better year from Nikola Vucevic, I'm fairly certain we'll see a better year with the Chicago Bulls as well. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.